right there. It's right there.
Judging by the group they were with, there's a good chance they're probably still.
कहाँको लाइभ गर्ने यस्तो त गर्नु त
Saborean on their deal.
You can go live, please.
You're a little prominent in the photo there. You're kind of. I swear. Thank you for not telling me until now because it would have bugged the crap out of me.
Okay,
Oh, no.
microphone check. Hey, so good afternoon. My name is Isaac. I'd like to welcome you to the Riverwalk. So I'll be your tour guide for the next 35 minutes. We're gonna try and cover 2.5 miles of the San Antonio River. It is a round trip, so once we finish up this ride, it's gonna end up right where we started from. So we'll come back eventually. It's very important that we try to remain
Round
seated
trip.
through the duration of the ride, and anything that you value, your arms, elbows, your cell phones, try to keep them inside the rails. There's also no smoking of any kind permitted during the ride. If you're curious, the average depth of the river is only 4 feet. So if you find yourself inside this river for some strange reason, do not panic at all. If you can, try to calmly stand up and walk out first. The river's only 4 feet. Now, I know it's tough to believe this. On the sidewalks, on the attractions, the hotels, but honestly, you're floating on a natural flowing river. So, our river here is spring-fed. All this water comes from an underground lake called the Edwards Aquifer. And the headwaters of the river is located 4 miles up north on the grounds of the University of the Incarnate Word. The San Antonio River does flow for 250 miles until it hits the Gulf of Mexico. Now, with that being said, the Riverwalk itself does have 2 concrete extensions. And once we pass by them, I'll point them out to you, okay? But the majority of this ride is going to take place on a mud bottom. Right now, this part is natural.
Take your shoes off before you come.
Now, all these sidewalks, the cascades, all the things that make the Riverwalk, it was added here between 1938 and 1941. Most people do not know that the Riverwalk was part of a stimulus plan for the Great Depression by the WPA. So, long story short, all these sidewalks were added in 1941. Before that, there was a dirt pathway, like that on my left-hand side. So there was a dirt pathway with cypress trees everywhere. Now, some of these cypress trees are over 300 years old.
Oh my god.
Now, they're very, very healthy. They're just turning over. So they're going to shed all their needles in a couple of more weeks. And a few more weeks, they'll be completely bald. They're called the bald cypress trees. Some of them are over 300 years old. That one for sure. Yeah, these over here as well. That one is. Hey, in front of us, it's one of the oldest bridge in our city. So right in front of us is an iron street bridge. It was built in 1890, and the bridge comes from Berlin. From East Berlin, Connecticut. 1890. So we have 10 of these in our city. The last remaining 10 And we have 5 of them on the Riverwalk. And we'll pass by 3 of them during our tour. So over here to my right-hand side, we call this Marriage Island. It's a natural heart-shaped island, and the bottom of the island is made up of roots from a cypress tree on top. So it's supposed to bring good luck to newlyweds if you get married on this natural park. So the earliest ceremony known that the public library has was in 1901 on top of Marriage Island. Again, this part of the Riverwalk is natural. It's a mud bottom. Coming up right in front of us is the oldest continuously operating courthouse in Texas. It's made up of red sandstone, but in front of us is the Bexar County Courthouse since 1896. Over here to my left-hand side, it's the Tower Life Building. Today, it's a life insurance company. The tower does stand 404 feet tall. My favorite thing about this building is that it offers neo-Gothic architecture. So the main example are the gargoyles way on top. Now can you also spot the grotesque faces on the first level? Look for the scary faces on the first level of the building. So they were placed there to ward off bad
The
luck.
bottom of the windows.
Unfortunately, they do not work. The building opened up June 1st, 1929, just in time for the stock market to crash for the United States Great Depression. So the owners, they spent $3 million to construct this building. In return, they received $30,000. It was sold for their tax value, 5 cents per the dollar. Now, coming up right in front of us with a green traffic light is 1 out of 5 flood gates that controls the water level of the Riverwalk. That's why the Riverwalk has no heavy flow. We control that. Now, the one in front of us with a traffic light works like a drawbridge. So the bottom of the gate is under the water, and then it rises past the 2 slots. It acts like a wall, and this wall, it prevents any water from entering or exiting the area. But it's very rare that we use it. I mean, it has to be a severe flood. The one that we use the most is the one coming up to my left-hand side. So it's a 14-foot dam, and that one drains the whole entire Riverwalk. If we're expecting a huge amount of rain, we'll try to drain some first before the Riverwalk ever floods. And that's how we try to control the water level of the Riverwalk. Again, try to keep in mind that this river does flow behind myself for 250 miles. And so it's an actual ocean. So coming up to my left-hand side is a romantic European tradition. It started off in Paris, France. We just have a slightly cheaper version here, but when people get married, if they're in a serious relationship, they lock their locks onto the gate, they write their initials onto the lock, and then they throw the key into the river. Now for some strange reason, right, it won't happen. But if they decide to split up, they gotta find the key and then unlock the lock. So that makes it kind of impossible, right? So what I've noticed is people are now adding a bunch of combination locks up there. There's a bunch up there, really. So I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I'm gonna label that, right? So I'm not sure if you heard me the first time, but the Riverwalk does have two concrete extensions, right? Right now this part is concrete. Believe it or not, this area so happens to be the deepest. This is the deepest part of the Riverwalk. It's 22 feet deep here. It was excavated by the Army Corps of Engineers. We had so many floods here. The most devastating flood was in 1921. It rose 9 feet above this bridge, 9 feet above it, taking the lives of 56 people. So that same year, they cut this canal out of the earth to redirect the natural flow of this river. Try to imagine a huge flood coming from the headwaters in front of us, right? The flood's coming down, and it would normally enter through my right-hand side. The floodwater would travel through the horseshoe of the Riverwalk. So instead of doing that, they cut this canal out of the earth so the floodwater can bypass the Riverwalk right behind us, and it can flow into the next large body pot of water. Now, with that being said, they added another floodgate to my right-hand side, and that one drops straight down into the garage door. It only weighs 2 tons. It acts like a wall, and this wall, it prevents any water from entering this side of the Riverwalk. This wall, it forces all the flood water to flow through my right, instead of it entering inside the Riverwalk. Now, if you don't visit the Riverwalk very often, and if this is your first time, this might be the last time that you'll ever see this, okay? So my right-hand side, look at that tree. It's growing out of a wall. The tree is exiting out of a wall. So it's a fig tree, and it still bears fruit. It still bears figs. Unfortunately, they just sold this property. So from here to over here, they're gonna build a hotel here pretty soon, so the tree will no longer be here. Now the Esquire Tavern to my right-hand side, the Esquire will still be here. Hey, next month, the Esquire, they're gonna celebrate 85 years of legally selling alcohol. Right? So this was the first legal drinking establishment in our city after the prohibition was repealed. December 5th, 1933, 12:01 a.m. with a fully stocked bar and ready to go. So either they had a fast delivery, they were already serving drinks. I mean, I guess we don't know the right answer, but today the Esquire, they offer the longest wooden bar top in Texas. So all this construction, the owner of the Esquire bought the property next door, built a fish market. So they're gonna build a balcony hotel. So all the balconies are gonna go over the street on the other side. So maybe like your next visit, you'll drive under all the balconies. My right-hand side, if you look right upstairs, it's the Aztec Theater, one of San Antonio's first silent movie theaters during the Roaring
Yeah, but I'm
20s.
sorry, huh?
So the Aztec, they went through major
Close it up.
renovations,
Today closed it.
restorations. Today it's a live performance theater. These are very good examples of adaptive use of historical buildings. It's pretty rare that we ever demolish anything down. I mean, it does happen, but it's very, very rare. So for example, my right-hand side, today it's the Bocara Hotel Inn and Spa. But in 1901, that used to be the biggest saddle and harness company in the United States. So they used to outfit saddles, leather goods to the United States and allies during World War I. Teddy Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, would all buy their saddles right there. It was called the L. Frank Saddle Company. It was owned by a German family.
German.
Another pretty good example was my left-hand side. Today is the Omni La Mansion. In 1853, it was called St. Mary's School for Boys. Two alumni bought the property and they converted the school into a hotel. So back in the 60s, this was the only hotel on the Riverwalk right here.
I tried.
If you're taking pictures of things on the Riverwalk, get your cameras ready, okay? This is very, very cool. Well, I think it's cool. So I'm going to point out an optical illusion, okay? So once we pass this bridge, some people say that the building to my left-hand side, they say it looks like a freestanding wall. So look all the way up, as high as you can, and the building looks like a thin wall. All the way up.
Oh.
Is that kind of neat?
that's weird. Couple of more margaritas.
तो पूरे ढल गई से आया था गुरु
That's funny.
तो पूरे ढल गया था गुरु ये ढल कर था वाला
Lord not is
So, believe it or not, this is the NIX, the NIX hospital since 1930.
1930.
In 1933, this is where Carol Burnett was born. Yeah, 1933, Carol Burnett. Even Oliver North was born at the NIX hospital. So those might be the two most famous people that were born here. Now, before any building in our downtown area, before it can be built, they have to pass shadow testing, just so the buildings would not prevent the rising sun to shine over the Alamo. Since the Alamo is considered to be a war memorial. Now, only if it's possible, only if weather permits, in the morning, when the sun is rising, the sun has to always shine over a war memorial. No building can prevent that from happening. That's one of the reasons why downtown San Antonio has no skyscrapers, because the Alamo is in the center of our downtown area. I know, right? That was a long one. So yesterday, I was on Facebook, like I usually do, right? And I just found out that in 1916, Crockett Street, which is above our heads, so about a block down, Houdini was in San Antonio. And he was hung upside down from a building a block down and in a straitjacket. And he escaped in 4 minutes. So the sheriff even came down and tied him in the straitjacket, and he made sure it was super tight, and he escaped in 4 minutes. It normally takes him 3 minutes to do it. That's what the article said. It took him 4 minutes. 1916, Houdini is right here. So we have just entered into the historic River Square. What makes the area so historic is some of the buildings to my left-hand side, they're dated back from the mid-1800s. So some of these buildings were built 10 years after the Battle of the Alamo. But as you can see now, this is where we offer the majority of the interior to the Riverside dining on both sides of the Riverwalk. So the majority of the restaurants, the bars, the mariachis, they're going to be in this area right here. Now, when all of these sidewalks were finished, when they were added to this natural part of the river, it was in 1941, right? That's when it became the river, 1941. The designer, the concept architect of the Riverwalk, moved his own office to my right-hand side, in the basement of the Clifford building. He wanted to prove to the people that it was safe to operate a business without the harm of flooding. So in 1941, my right-hand side, this was the architect's office. So after he did this, people started digging their basements out and opening small restaurants. For example, all the restaurants behind myself, they were all basements at one point. And people dug their basements out and opened up restaurants or a small shop, right? But with that being said, it took a very long time to gain the people's trust because of the Great Depression. So 5 years later, my right-hand side, the first restaurant on the Riverwalk opened up their doors. 1946, Casa Rio, the restaurant, were the first ones to offer a boat ride. But at the time, it was a gondola. They were the first ones to offer riverside dining, mariachis. They were the first ones to do it all. They weren't always a restaurant. Actually, right upstairs, the owner used to own an appliance store. And he was making ends meet due to the Great Depression. So he dug his basement out. It was a 17th century Spanish style home. He opened up a restaurant. And he wasn't doing very well, so he offered a gondola ride to bring people to come eat. Then he offered mariachis just to bring people to come eat at his restaurant. And that's how the Riverwalk started, actually. I mean, they were the first ones to do it all. They're still to this day family owned and operated by the Lyons family, which is a German family. So they were the first to do it all. All right, let's speed this up. We started the tour on my right-hand side. So we're gonna visit our convention center, our shopping mall, then I'll bring you back to where we started from, okay? That means we're more than halfway done already. Okay. So the main purpose for this canal was for the 1968 World's Fair. It was a 6-month fair, over 7 million visitors. That's what transformed the Riverwalk into a tourist attraction. To give you an idea how possible that is, on Saturday, this Saturday, they sold 13,000 riverboat tickets on Saturday alone. So for half a month, 7 million visitors, it's pretty awesome, right? Was anyone here on Saturday on the Riverwalk? Did you guys see the boat lines? It was hectic, right? It was horrible. It wasn't a good time, right? It wasn't a good time. So during the World's Fair was our chance for us to promote the city. So the rest of the world of what San Antonio has to offer, right? Now today, it might not look like much today, but in 1968, coming up to my right-hand side, this used to be the tallest free-standing tower in North America. I mean, it's changed, right? In the United States alone, we're now in second place. So coming in first place is the Stratosphere, Las Vegas, Nevada. Second place is here in Texas. And following third, that's the Space Needle. That one's in Seattle, Washington. But to be fair, the one in Seattle was built first. It was built for their World's Fair in 1962. And ours was added for our World's Fair in 68. So the one here in San Antonio, it stands 751 feet tall. Offers 2 levels. So the very top level, that's an observation level. There's even a balcony up there. You can walk around the actual tower. The bottom level is a restaurant and a bar. And the restaurant's floor is motorized. So it makes a full 360, it spins. Now, we were very fortunate enough to host the World's Fair. We were also celebrating our 250th anniversary in 1968. So 50 years later, it's 2018. So 5 months ago, the city of San Antonio just turned 300 years old. So we're pretty excited. Not many cities in the United States get to celebrate this milestone. I mean, in the world, of course, right? But the United States, from the top of my head, I know St. Augustine, New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm sure there's a lot more, but the city of San Antonio, we're in the 300 mark. So for our 300th birthday, the city of San Antonio bought brand new riverboats, which you're on right now. So what's so special about these is that they're run off the power of electricity. So these are all electric motor boats. We have 5 different colors, we have 5 different designs. The one that you're on right now is in honor of our tricentennial, the number 300. So we have 14 batteries under the center seats, And the battery charge lasts for 3 days. So this boat's been out since yesterday at 3 o'clock. And today, 3 o'clock again, it's 73% battery. That's pretty good. Before this, we used to run off natural compressed gas, which is also very good. These are just a bit more quiet. I gotta be careful what I say. On my last tour, I had a huge oil field group here. They weren't upset. I mean, I said the same thing, but they're like, hey, natural gas is better. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I gotta be, yeah, it's all good. I said the same thing. I was like, hey, they're both equally good, but they said it was better. Anyway, they're electric. I'm a fan of both of them, okay? So we're at a dead end. The Riverwalk was purposely stopped here. Imagine it's 1968 and you're on the Gondola. The Gondolas was stopped here, and this was the entrance to the 1968 World's Fair. If you ever been to Disney World, so the Epcot Center, that's based off of a World's Fair. So the owners of Disney World wanted to have a World's Fair every day. So they built the Epcot Center, right? So that's what a World's Fair would look like. You would come inside, there's multiple pavilions, performances, beverages. Inside this convention center above our heads, this was the American Pavilion right here. So we're gonna spin the boat around, we're gonna head to the opposite direction, we're gonna visit the last part of the tour, and then I'll take you back to where we started from, okay? So hang in there, we're almost done. So coming up to my right-hand side, we have a very beautiful mosaic mural. So the mural coming up to my right is made up of 1 inch by 1 inch square tiles. So my right-hand side, there are 400,000 pieces of tile. 11 of the colors are natural, except for the color blue. The blue is the only artificial color in the piece. The rest are natural stone from 7 different countries. And it's titled Confluence of Civilization of the Americas, which is the merging together of the Western and the Eastern Hemisphere, just both sides coming together as one, which is really the city of San Antonio. Back in the 1800s, the most dominant language in this city was German, which is pretty crazy, right? If you think about South Texas, you don't always think of a huge German population, right? But that was the first, and that was, I mean, the most dominant language is what I mean. And the reason for that was back in the 1800s, for whatever reasons, they were allowing immigrants into Ellis Island. So, I mean, here in Texas, you offer free land. To some people, it was considered part of the area. But there was 3 major rules. The most difficult rule was no matter what religion you were, moving to Texas, you had to be Catholic because we're living under Spanish rule. That's the only reason why, because we were living under Spanish rule at the time. Second one was learning how to speak English as your second language. And following third was trying to grow a crop, raise cattle, so that you contribute to Texas. So we have a large German and Irish influence in our city. If you're familiar with Tejano music or conjunto music, it's with the Mexican and German influence. So the polka, the accordion, just coming together as one. So this is the last part of the tour. And this is also the most awkward part of the tour. It's a shopping mall. That means the area is not very historic, but it is part of the tour. What I can say is this past summer, they started adding a bunch of new attractions, restaurants, mainly restaurants. For example, my left-hand side, they just opened up the very first Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville in Texas. So this is the first one in our state. It's rightfully so on the Riverwalk. In a few more weeks, they're going to open up the aquarium in the mall and also a Lego land. That's what the Dillards used to be. So things like this makes it very, very tough to believe that the river's spring fed, right? Well, the spring fed river, it honestly brings a bunch of marine life. I know it's hard to believe, but we have catfish in this river. We have carp. There's bass. We have perch, sunfish, even crawfish. We have turtles. There's ducks. We have cell phones. Sunglasses. Hats. Did you guys know that we try to drain the Riverwalk once a year? We aim for the first week of January. That's our 1 month of real winter, January. The purpose for the draining is to clean the Riverwalk as much as we can. I mean, besides a whole bunch of trash, I mean, you'd be amazed at what we find inside this river. If you name it, it's honestly more than likely in here. The most common thing that we do find, besides trash, it's mainly silverware. A lot of silverware. There's sunglasses and cell phones, car keys, engagement wedding rings, and a bunch of loose change. You scared me. I was like, oh, what did you do? I heard your bracelet. I was like, did you know what you're reading there? I was like, oh my goodness, you did that. No, there's a bunch of things inside this river. That's almost also weird, like, no. Oh my goodness, you guys are bananas. I thought your bracelet was a ring. Okay, you did a ring of river. I was scared. Okay, we're okay. Once you drink this river, all this water, all the fish, they continue to flow southeast. The river does flow for 250 miles. Hey, my right-hand side, here's an 8-foot statue of the patron saint who our city was named after. So my right-hand side is Saint Anthony de Padua. When Spanish explorers, missionaries, and a priest, when they discovered the natural part of the river, it was June 13th, 1691. So according to the Catholic calendar, June 13th is the feast day of St. Anthony.
Hello.
So in honor of him, they had a mass here, and they named this river San Antonio. Again, that was June 13th, 1691. June 13th is the feast day of St. Anthony. So then the city adopted the name from the river, and that's how it became the city of San Antonio. Now my right-hand side, if you look high in the sky, there's the steeple of St. Joseph's Catholic Church. The first church that was built in Texas, but after the Battle of the Alamo. And that was in 1868. So the church to my right-hand side was built just for the large German community. Even still to this day, every 4th Sunday of the month, they have an all-male German choir inside St. Joseph's. Last but not least, my left-hand side's the Hilton. It's very important that I mention the Hilton because it was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records. It was entered for the fastest modular concrete buildings built in the 60s. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, you're right. So, to be honest with you, we were very unprepared for the World's Fair. Again, we only had one hotel, remember? We had one hotel, and the city was in a panic. So they hired this brand new architect by the name of H.B. Zachary, and he was a very competent person. He said, hey, I'll bid you a hotel. I'll give you 500 rooms, and I'll do it within 7 months. If I don't succeed, I'll sell you whatever I've completed for $1. And if I do succeed, I want X amount of money, which is a lot of money. So the city said, hey, I mean, the odds are against you. Yeah, we'll take your bet. 500 rooms, 200 working days. He was so confident, he took weekends off. 200 working days. Now, the way he got it done, most of us know already, but